Hi guys, it's me. Today is Monday. I'm sorry it took me a while to get this to you. I was not feeling very good this weekend. Allergies. But I feel better now. I'm outside, as you can see. Hopefully the light works a little bit better here. I'm not quite sure if it will. It might actually be worse. Live and learn, right? Hopefully you're all doing well. I don't know if you saw, but unfortunately we are not coming back to school this year. The governor did say that we are going to continue virtual learning for the end of the year. So I'm sorry about that, especially my seniors. It really makes me sad that I'm not going to get any more time with you. Definitely would like to torture you in public and in person and do this looking over your shoulder, but it's not going to happen. So let's just continue here. We're going to do the best we can. That's all we can do, right? All right, so I'm going back. This was the drawing that I started the last time we were together. And I am going to continue now. So if you didn't get to this part, this is day 3. If you did not do day 3, do not go on. You have to do day 3, turn it in, let me look at it and help you out, give you any corrections that might improve it or make it look more like you. You have to take a picture of yourself and send it to me. I need to be able to look at your pictures to look at your drawing and then say, okay, maybe your eyes are a little off. Maybe they do need to be a little further apart. Maybe the shape's a little different, because the shapes are all going to be very different on all of our faces. And unless I'm looking at you, I know you guys, but I don't have your features memorized. Unless I'm looking at you, I'm not going to be able to assist you in making some of those corrections. So, one day at a time, do it, turn it in. I'll give you any advice. Sometimes I'm going to have you resubmit it just to make sure you understood what I was saying. Again, if you want to meet online and do it together, we can do that. But these are very important steps. Just because it's very hard since we're not doing this in the same room. Okay, so I have my drawing that I did from day 3 that you all saw, and you should, if you're at this point, have something that looks similar to this as well. So what we're going to do today is we're going to deal with the shape of the eyes. I'm just dealing with the shape today. Now, they're all going to be different. So the videos that we did, actually with the eyes, we didn't do a video. You just followed along with me. They're all going to be a tiny bit different. So even though you learned a standard way to make an eye, understand that you might have to change things to make it look like your eye. I mean, that's the whole point, is that these look like us in the end. So I'm going to show you what I expect, and I'm also going to tell you why we're doing the eyes. So I explained to you that eyes are generally 5 across the width of your face. And again, that's a generalization. It's a very close generalization. But once we have the eyes in, we can build everything off of the eyes. We can decide how far down everything is by using the eye as a tool to measure everything else. Let's call it our true, okay? When I say what's your true, what I mean is the one thing that you said, okay, I'm going to base everything else off of this. Whether if it's a still life, a specific object in a still life, you're going to compare everything else to that. In this case, it's going to be the eyes. So once we get our eyes in, we can then decide things like, is my nose actually halfway down, or is it a little higher or a little tiny bit lower? Because as I said, they're going to be different. But we got to get the eyes in first. So I'm not going to do completely finished eyes. I am going to, that's Stefan. Hi, Stefan. Stefan just sent me a message. I'm going to do my best to get the shape of my eye in lightly, and then I'll know that I can continue to take it down. We're going to do that with each feature. So that's 3 days. That's what we're going to do this week, is get our eyes, our nose, and our mouth in. I'm not even worried about the ears yet. Notice my hair is different now than it was there, but I said pick a hairstyle. So when it comes time, I will pull my hair back and continue that way. Okay, so I don't know how this is going to work, whether you're going to be able to see what I'm drawing, but we're going to try, okay? Okay, so So as I'm looking in the mirror, I notice that my eyes are much rounder on the top, and they do dip a little. So right now, the eye that I have laid out there, it doesn't look much like my eye at all. I'm not erasing. As I told you, I don't generally like to do that until I get my correct lines in. So my eye seems to be a little more exaggerated in the roundness on the top. And I know you can't see me right now, so I want you to watch me drawing, but I'm really spending much more time looking in the mirror than at my paper. So I changed it up a little bit. I'm still not too happy. I think it goes up even higher. So I'm going to do it a little bit more. They're very rounded. Okay, so that takes it up a little bit more. Now I'm going to adjust the other one. And your eyes aren't going to be exactly the same. As I said, we are not symmetrical creatures. So I'm going to make sure that I have pretty close to what I am sure is one eye distance in between. Remember, that's the distance in between our two eyes. Okay. It seems like on this one, my tear duct comes in a little and then it goes up into this round shape. Just a little bit. And then it comes down. Okay. Now on the bottom, this tear duct seems to be a little more exaggerated than the other one. Okay, so this is what I have so far. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to make some adjustments. This tear duct, I need to exaggerate this a little bit more. I'm going to put the fleshy part of that tear duct in. It's inside there on both eyes. By inside, I mean, so here we have that it's not out here, it's in here. So it comes inside my guideline there a little bit. Okay. So I'm pretty happy with that. Now that I'm happy with that, I'm going to erase some of the old lines. And I got to redraw my irises because that's a very important part too. Okay. So I have these round eyes. I don't know if you can see. And I don't know. Okay. I can't even. All right, so my eyes are pretty round. Now let's look at my irises. I am concerned with how much of the top of my iris is cut off, because the only time you're going to see white above your irises is if you're looking down or if you're very surprised and looking down. Otherwise, you never see white at the top. As far as the underside of the irises, we don't always see white there either. Some people do, some people don't. I'm not sure. I think my irises touch at the very bottom. So the next thing I'm going to do, and the things I'm going to look for, I'm going to look for the amount of negative space, like the whites of the eyes, what the shape of that is, how it forms the actual iris, how much white is there, and again, how much of it touches the top and the bottom lid. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Okay, so I noticed that a pretty good amount is cut off, and I'm looking at the shape that the white creates. And it looks like my iris, when I'm relaxed, touches at the very bottom. And by the shape, I mean this part right here. See that shape? So that's what I was drawing, was that triangle shape right there. So I'm going to do that with that one. And then I'm going to do the other side too. And again, quite a bit is cut off on the top. I'm considering both the shape of the white, and I know it's a circle. Now, when we did these together, we drew a complete circle like this. And if you want to, you might do that. draw a complete circle, and then later we can erase that part at the top. And I'll show you why that might be a good idea. So let me do the other side now. Same thing, I'm going to see how much of the iris is cut off, quite a bit, and I notice that my iris just touches the bottom lid. Okay, so there's that shape that I put in, and now I'm going to do the other one. All right, same thing. What kind of shape is it making out of my white? All right, and to show you this, I'm going to again complete it into a full circle. All right, so this is what I have for my irises. So this is what I have for the shape of my eyes. Now the next thing I need to do is I need to put in my pupils. This is where it's important, and if you're comfortable not doing it, you don't have to do it, but it helps to have the complete circle because your pupil is smack in the middle of your iris. If you start doing something with your pupil up high like this, you turn into like a Disney character. Your pupil is actually smack in the middle of your iris. So because I'm out here in the daylight, my pupils are small because the more light you have coming in, the smaller they're going to be. I want to consider where my highlight is, and I want to consider my pupil. I don't really want to make them as small as they are out here because sometimes it looks like, you know, you're on drugs, but I don't want that to look like that. So I might make them a little bigger than they naturally are, but I'm going to make sure that they are the same distance all the way around because that's going to tell me that they're smack in the middle. And I want them to be the same size, and I want to consider my highlight. What does my highlight look like? And I'll show you in a second. And I'm not finishing these today. These are just the shape. Okay. So you can see I put my pupils in. Notice that it's the same distance from here as it is from here. That's how we're going to make them in the middle. And that I've considered where my highlight is going to be. And I did that on both eyes. Okay, so please do that. That might be all we're going to get to today. Now I'm going to erase that top part of my iris. Okay, a couple of the guidelines that are there. So I have my eyes in, the actual shape of my eyes. One other thing I might do right now is try to put my lids in. I'm only doing this lightly because a lot of it's going to be done with value. Please remember that. So my lids go up and around, and then they kind of flatten out and then go down. So this is what I was talking about, flatten out. They go up and around, they kind of flatten out, and then they go down. I think that's because I'm older. Doesn't really do it as much on the other side. Kind of flops down on this side for me again because I'm older. I have that extra skin there. Okay, so this is all we're doing for today. You're going to get the shape of your eyes in. I'm not dealing with my value on my eyes yet. I'm not dealing with anything else. That's the first thing to do. Tomorrow when we come back, we're going to put our nose in, and by our nose, I mean mostly our nostrils and maybe the hoods, because remember our nose doesn't really have any lines. It's mostly value, but it's going to go off of where it sits within the eyes. Okay, all right, that's all you're doing for today. Is please look in the mirror. You have to look in the mirror when you do this. You cannot do it from memory. Do not try to do it from a picture. Look in the mirror. I know it's hard for you because you don't do it. You get better at this as you go and you go and you go, and that's what we're trying to do here. So please, I miss you all. You all can do this. Honestly, look at it. Know that all of our eyes are different. Mine are very round. I want to see different shaped eyes. Make sure you send me your pictures so that I can help you out and see what it is you might need tweaking a little bit, okay? Do not go on to step 5 until I told you that day 4 looks good. All right? It's good to see everybody, or not. Bye.